On a frigid February morning in Westridge, Oregon, a faded warehouse stood silent under a thick blanket of fog, its rusted walls a testament to years of neglect. Inside, Officer Layla Cortez watched as her partner, Duke, a 70-pound Belgian Malinois with a fawn coat and a cadaver detection vest, paced with purpose across the concrete floor. At just 4 years old, Duke was smaller than most working dogs of his breed, but his focus was unmatched, honed by rigorous training to detect human remains no matter how deeply buried or long forgotten. That day, he zeroed in on a 20 by 20-foot patch of concrete, its smoother texture and lack of expansion joints, setting it apart from the rest of the warehouse floor. Duke's behavior shifted, his tail stiffened, his sniffing grew rapid, and he began scratching at the surface with a ferocity that echoed through the cavernous space. Detective Dale Shepard, a seasoned skeptic clutching his coffee, dismissed it at first. "Probably just chemicals or a dead raccoon," he muttered, recalling past false alarms. "An anonymous tip here, a psychic's hunch there, even a 2013 cadaver dog search that turned up nothing." But Duke wouldn't relent. No matter how many times Layla called him off, he returned to the same spot, pawing harder, a low whine building in his throat as foam flecked his muzzle. It wasn't aggression, it was certainty. "I'd stake my career on it," Layla told Shepard, her voice steady with 2 years of trust in Duke's 98% accuracy. His relentless instincts, defying doubt and exhaustion, forced the team to act, cutting through 12 inches of concrete to reveal a truth buried for over a decade. Duke's nose had spoken, and it wouldn't be ignored. The old warehouse on the outskirts of Westridge, Oregon, was a tomb of industrial decay, its concrete floors stained with decades of oil and its skylights casting pale, dusty beams into the gloom. It was here, on a foggy February morning, that Officer Layla Cortez and her cadaver dog, Duke, stepped into a mystery that had lingered since 2011. The building, once owned by Reeves Construction, was days from demolition when a building inspector flagged a suspicious 20 by 20-foot section of concrete, newer, smoother, and oddly seamless compared to the rest. Detective Dale Shepard, a veteran with 15 years in major crimes, had seen too many dead-end leads in the Thomas Reeves case to get his hopes up. Reeves, a construction tycoon who'd built half the town, vanished 12 years prior, his car found at Portland International Airport, his credit cards untouched, his passport still in his safe. Yet Duke's relentless scratching at that concrete patch changed everything. After hours of debate and an expedited warrant, the forensic team fired up their saws, slicing through the slab in 6-inch layers. At 8 inches, the blade hit something soft, black plastic sheeting, the kind used under foundations. By 12 inches, a faint whiff of decomposition confirmed Shepard's grim hunch. Peeling back the plastic revealed a skeleton, an adult male, curled haphazardly in a shallow grave. The skull bore a fatal fracture, but the real shock came with a custom watch still clinging to the wrist bones. To Thomas, 25 years of building dreams, 2008. It was Reeves, a gift from his employees noted in his missing persons report. Buried with him was a waterproof pouch, its waterlogged papers barely legible but damning, financial records hinting at embezzlement. Dental records and DNA from Reeves's son later sealed the ID. What started as Duke's stubborn instinct unveiled a crime scene hidden for over a decade, turning a cold case into a solved murder. For West Ridge, a town haunted by Reeves's disappearance, the discovery beneath those 12 inches of concrete was a long overdue answer, a testament to a dog's nose and a team's persistence. In the dim light of a West Ridge, Oregon warehouse, the truth about Thomas Reeves' fate emerged from beneath 12 inches of concrete, shattering a 12-year silence. Reeves, a construction kingpin who vanished in December 2011, wasn't just missing, he'd been murdered, and the evidence pointed to a betrayal close to home. It started with Duke, the Belgian Malinois whose relentless scratching forced the forensic team to cut into a suspicious concrete patch. Inside, they found Reeves's skeleton, his skull bearing a brutal fracture from a single powerful blow. Blunt force trauma, the medical examiner confirmed, likely from a curved, heavy tool like a pipe wrench. The watch on his wrist, inscribed to Thomas, 25 years of building dreams, 2008, wasn't the only clue. A waterlogged pouch of financial documents buried with him revealed someone had been siphoning money from Reeves Construction between 2009 and 2011. Suspicion fell on Howard Rohr, Reeves's business partner who'd taken over the company after his disappearance. Rohr had an alibi, a charity dinner with 200 witnesses, but the timeline was shaky. Reeves wasn't reported missing until 2 days later. The concrete itself tied Rohr closer. Its unique mix, laced with an unusual anti-freezing agent, traced back to Metrocrete, a subsidiary he'd founded 8 months after Reeves vanished. Then came the clincher, a partial fingerprint on the watch clasp, preserved in leather for 12 years, matched Rohr. Confronted in his sleek downtown office, the 62-year-old real estate mogul's charm cracked. It was an accident, he rasped, admitting Reeves had caught him cooking the books that night in the warehouse. One panicked swing of a wrench, and Rohr buried his friend under concrete he'd poured himself. A later dig near the body uncovered the murder weapon, a pipe wrench with blood traces matching the skull's fracture pattern. For West Ridge, a town Reeves had helped build, the revelation was a gut punch. Rohr faced charges of second-degree murder and financial crimes, his empire built on deceit crumbling as swiftly as it had risen. Duke's nose had peeled back the layers, exposing a murder hidden by a trusted friend. In the shadowy expanse of a West Ridge, Oregon warehouse, a 70-pound Belgian Malinois named Duke turned a cold case into a closed one with a nose that defied belief. On that foggy February morning, the 4-year-old cadaver dog scratched at a 20 by 20-foot concrete slab, his claws scraping against 12 inches of solid barrier, as if he could smell the secrets beneath. Officer Layla Cortez, his handler, knew Duke's track record: 98% accuracy in controlled tests, 0 false positives in the field, and a history of finding bodies buried 6 feet deep or encased in concrete. Detective Dale Shepard, skeptical and sipping coffee, figured it was another bust, citing the warehouse's chemical-soaked floors as likely culprits. But Duke's focus wasn't swayed by solvents or dead rats. His 300 million olfactory receptors, 50 times more than a human's 6 million, locked onto the faint traces of putrescine and cadaverine, chemical signatures of human decay that linger for decades. It's like finding a drop of water in 20 Olympic swimming pools, Layla explained, noting how these compounds seep through concrete's microscopic pores at concentrations as low as 1 part per trillion. No gadget, not even ground-penetrating radar, could match that precision. Radar might spot a lump, but only Duke could say it was human. His training, honed to detect decomposition from fresh corpses to ancient bones, made him a living forensic tool. When the team finally cut through that concrete, unearthing Thomas Reeves' remains, Duke's whines and pawing proved he'd sniffed out a murder hidden for 12 years. For Americans over 30, raised on tales of Lassie or K9 cops on TV, this is no surprise. Dogs have long been partners in justice. Yet Duke's feat elevated that legacy, showing how a canine's evolutionary gift, paired with rigorous training, could outshine technology and crack a case that had stumped detectives for over a decade. In a world of drones and DNA labs, it was a dog's nose that brought Reeves home, reminding West Ridge, and us all, that some powers remain beyond human reach. In the cold, fog-draped warehouse on the edge of West Ridge, Oregon, a partnership forged in trust turned a hunch into justice. Officer Layla Cortez, a seasoned K9 handler, stood beside Duke, her 70-pound Belgian Malinois, as he scratched furiously at a 20 by 20-foot patch of concrete. At 12 inches thick, it hid a secret that had eluded investigators for over a decade. The remains of Thomas Reeves, a local construction titan gone missing in 2011. Detective Dale Shepard, a 15-year veteran of major crimes, wasn't convinced. Clutching his coffee, he grumbled about false positives, chemical spills, animal carcasses, or the ghosts of past failed searches, like one in 2013 that yielded nothing. 9 times out of 10, these digs just hurt the families, he warned, eyeing the concrete marked with orange spray paint. But Layla's faith in Duke was unshakable. 2 years together had taught her to read his every move, his stiffened tail, his rapid sniffs, the desperate pawing that left foam at his muzzle. "He's 98% accurate," she told Shepard, her voice firm. "He's found bodies radar missed. If he says it's there, it's there." Duke's resume backed her up. Nationally certified, trained to detect decay through 6 feet of earth or solid slabs, never once wrong in the field. Shepard hesitated, weighing the cost of equipment and warrants against a dog's instinct. It was Layla's quiet conviction, built on countless hours of training and that unspoken bond, that tipped the scales. When Duke's scratches turned to barks, Shepard relented, calling for a forensic team. 12 inches down, they found Reeves, proof that trust between handler and hound could rewrite a case's ending. For Americans over 30 who've seen their share of buddy cop duos or leaned on a loyal pet, this hits home. Layla and Duke weren't just a team, they were a unit, their synergy defying logic to deliver results tech couldn't touch. In a world of skepticism, their partnership stood as a testament to faith in the intangible, bringing closure to West Ridge after 12 long years. After 12 years of whispers and dead ends, the town of West Ridge, Oregon, finally laid a haunting mystery to rest, thanks to a dog's nose and a mountain of evidence buried under 12 inches of concrete. Thomas Reeves, a construction mogul who'd shaped the community with schools and hospitals, vanished in December 2011, leaving behind a car at Portland International Airport and a family grasping for answers. For over a decade, his case gnawed at Detective Dale Shepard and the Reeves family. His wife remarried and moved to Arizona, his son managing what remained of the empire. That February morning, when Duke, a 70-pound Belgian Malinois, clawed at a suspicious slab in an old Reeves construction warehouse, the past cracked open. Beneath that concrete lay Reeves's skeleton, a custom watch. To Thomas, 25 years of building dreams, 2008, and financial papers exposing embezzlement. The trail led to Howard Rohr, Reeves's business partner turned real estate tycoon. A fingerprint on the watch clasp, preserved for 12 years, matched Rohr. The concrete's unique mix, traced to his Metrocrete subsidiary, started months after Reeves disappeared. A blood-stained pipe wrench, dug up 2 feet below, fit the skull's fatal fracture like a puzzle piece. Confronted in his gleaming 12-story office, Rohr's polished facade shattered. "It was an accident," he confessed, admitting he'd struck Reeves during a warehouse showdown over stolen funds, then buried him in concrete he'd poured himself. Charged with second-degree murder and financial crimes, Rohr faced a life sentence, his empire crumbling as the DA predicted a plea deal. For West Ridge, a town of 30-somethings and up who'd grown up with Reeves's legacy, this was more than a solved case. It was closure. Duke's relentless sniffing gave Caroline and Marcus Reeves a grave to visit, a chance to bury their husband and father properly. Shepard, who'd worked hundreds of cases, gave Duke a respectful pat, admitting, "Never would have cracked this without him." After 12 years, justice rolled in like a long-delayed tide, proving that even the deepest secrets can't hide forever. Not from a dog, a determined cop, and a community ready to heal. The story of Duke, the cadaver dog, and the 12-year-old murder case in West Ridge, Oregon, offers profound lessons for life beyond the crime scene. First, trust in instinct can uncover truths logic alone might miss. Duke's relentless scratching defied skepticism, proving that intuition, whether canine or human, often sees what technology can't. For those over 30 navigating careers or relationships, this reminds us to listen to that gut feeling when the stakes are high. Second, persistence pays off. Layla's unwavering faith in Duke and the team's effort to dig through 12 inches of concrete show that hard work and belief in a cause can break through even the toughest barriers, literal or not. Finally, justice delayed isn't justice denied. Reeves's family waited over a decade, yet closure came, teaching us patience and hope in life's unresolved chapters, whether it's a personal loss or a long-fought goal. In our busy lives, where instant results often dominate, this story urges us to value partnerships, like Layla and Duke's, lean on our instincts, and keep pushing forward. Sometimes the answers we seek are buried deep, waiting for the right moment and the right ally to bring them to light.